So today we're going to be doing the brakes and pulling the front control arms and everything out for the VL to get in for the front this time. Just went and bought some new brake pads and shoes for the rear and front, and just about to start jacking it up. Doing the back first so that when I jack the front up, then I can leave it up on jack stands while I pull the control arms and everything out to redo those. And I think that may be about it for today's video, but we'll get into it and see how she goes. That side's a bit, yeah, you can see a little bit, she's a bit there, but that one's all good on that side, so I might have to take off that there and free it up a bit. But I've got some brake cleaner there and everything to help do it, so we'll get that off and start cleaning it up. Right, so a bit better look at this. We've got, that side's not too bad. That side's all blocked up, so I'm going to see if I can get the air compressor onto it and blow them out and hopefully clean it out. Alright, so I got the piston out of it. I already cleaned that one up, as you can see, and that's the other one there. It's a bit dirty. Oh, hang on. Alright, that's a bit better. So that's the one that was stuck in there that's all disgusting. I already cleaned this one up, so I just got to get in there and clean all that out. Make sure it's all nice and put it all back together. Everything's cleaned out now. It's all looking about as good as it can get. All these are cleaned up. I've just got to clean the other end of that bit up wherever I've put it. Just there, just got to give that a little bit of a clean up on the end here. And it's ready to go back together and bolt back on and start putting the brakes back on again. So that's all back together now, all nice and clean, ready to go back on and to do the brakes. Right, so had a bit of a wrestle with it, finally got it all on. Won't know until I go to bleed the brakes how well I've done. For now, I think that's pretty all good. I even got into there with the sandpaper and grooved that up a bit so that it helped blight in a bit. But, that's this side done. Now that you saw me do this side, I'm not going to record. I'm just going to get in and get the other side done, and then we'll be on to the fronts. So the passenger side's just as bad. That's, well, if not worse. That's what that looks like, and that's just all full of sludge. So up for cleaning this one too. Right, so this one's all cleaned up again, ready to go back together and throw the brake pad or brake shoes back on the other side. Just finished doing up this side. Everything's back in, put on, adjusted accordingly. You just got to put the drum back on and let it down and head on to the front. I might actually bleed the brakes and take it for a little strap forwards and see how well they bed in, but yeah, we'll start getting that done now. Back on the ground now. I bled the brakes and took it for a little strap up there and back, and the brakes feel 10 times better than they were before, especially just for the rear anyway. So now I'm going to get on and jack up the front end and get all that apart ready so that I can do the bushes tomorrow or the next day when I go and hire the bush press kit. So we'll start jacking this thing up now. Alright, so I've just jacked the front end up, got it on jack stands. I'm about to take both front wheels off and start undoing all the control arms and everything for it. And then I think that might be it for today, but we'll get this shit done and we'll get it closer to getting done. I'm just getting at the moment, undoing the sway bar link Pull it out. Alrighty, so that's all that out of there. Yeah. So everything's gone now. Just got to get onto the other side and start pulling it all apart. Passenger side's out too. I've already put what bushings I can in. So I've already done the swing arm and the forward lower control arm bushing. I've got to do this one on both of them, and that one there as well. And I've got to try and push it through that hole and forwards, but once that one's out it'll be a lot easier to put the new one in. Alright, so back over here again today, fuck around on the VL. We're gonna push the bushes that I didn't do yesterday over here and the ones in the front. I just went and rented the bush press kit again, so we'll get onto that and get them done so we can get the front end back together. Eventually I will need to get some tie rod ends and figure out why the rack's leaking out of each boot on each side, and the strut top as well is, you can't really see it in the video, but it's got a little bit of play there, so I might need to get some new strut tops at some point too, and some lower ball joints. But other than that, I'm gonna get the brakes done as well, so we'll get right into it. Just took the shroud off, well, whatever you call that bit, from under here so that I have a bit better chance of trying to hopefully possibly get that in there, which I don't know if I'm going to. I might have to cut the front of this bushing off and push it back through that way and pull it out through here. But so the rod for that is a bit too long, so I think I'm just going to have to cut the bush off the front and hammer it through that way and pull them out that way. But I'm going to go grab the grinder and see how this side goes, and hopefully it works easy for me, but we'll soon find out. I got this bushing out. I had to grind through it so that I could get the screwdriver into the metal bit and lever it out. Got to find this side, went to do it with the other side and snapped my screwdriver. So I'm going to use the grinder, grind it down into another flathead and keep trying, because yeah, having to stick it up under there was like, and it snapped. So let's grind this one down and make another flathead. So I made it. Well, it's a bit dodgy, but it'll work for now. I need to get another screwdriver set, but it's alright because they're not over all that expensive. But see if we can't get this bush out now. Got it! Bloody finally! Oh no! Now I can clean up those surfaces and start to get the new bushes in and get the front end back in. So I just finished putting the two front bushes in. Now that one there, and that one there. Now I get to go and do the last two on the lower control arms and do the brakes. And we can get this in. I've got to make something up to go in here, like between these bits, so that when I squash them through, that they don't compress and squish on me. So I'll find something now and I'll set the camera up while I push it out. Either the battery's going flat or the overdug is finally dying. Now I'll go put the battery back on charge and we'll come back and do the other bush. Right, for this one we'll do a little bit of YouTube magic. Done. So Now I just gotta get it all in the car and get it back on the wheels and do the brakes, and it'll be, all the bushings will be done. So I just used the old pads, well, the old pad, and put it back in there and squash the piston back so I can get the new pads in there. I'm going to have to sandpaper that rotor so that it's going to get a nice pad, well, nice bite to it, and so that it cleans up all the rust stuff on it at the moment. But just grab the brakes, because yeah, they're all a bit kind of chatty at the moment. It'll need new rotors, but I haven't quite got the money for those at the moment, so a bit of sandpaper and new pads for now will do. But yeah, I'll get the new pads in and sandpaper that one up and show you what it turns out like. Give them a bit of a sand up. They come up a bit better than they were. Backside and front side, just gotta give it a bit of a clean with some brake cleaner. Let the pads fix up the rest, but that's what it did look like. It's pitted, and, well, not so much pitted, but it's just spots that are more rusty than others. But yeah, so I'm going to spray that down, get the jack, and try and get this thing in there. Didn't forget anything this time. Send this one on the front home. That should be all good now. I'm just going to nip that up with the breaker bar now, and that's this side done. So I'll get on to the other side and show you when it's all finished. I got this side back up in there now. Yeah, just got to hook everything else up to it. Got the brakes there, already put the new pads in. So yeah, about to get this one in and lower it down, and then I'm going to bleed the brakes before I lower it down, because that's a smart idea, so you can still get under it. But yeah, we'll keep on going with it. Everything's now bolted up on both sides. Got the tie rods back on, got everything nipped up with the breaker bar. Even this side's all done. Now I've just got to put the brake caliper on. Wherever I've put that, over here, I've got to put it on both sides. And then wait for somebody to come and give me a hand bleeding the brakes. And then that's pretty much done, apart from getting that plastic bit back on the front, which I think I might just quickly throw on now. But not bad for, probably would have been a full day job doing the front bushes and that if I hadn't split it into 2 days. But yeah, it's been good. A bit easier than the rear to do the front, but yeah, we're nearly there, boys and girls, if you're watching. Calipers on, brake lines done up on both sides. I had to take the bleed nipple off both sides and clean them out because they were full of gunk. I'm about to start it and let it bleed up while it's still on the jack stands before someone comes and gives me a hand to bleed the brakes. Got to get the bonnet on too at some point this afternoon, so I'm going to start cleaning up a little, and then I'll let this idle while I'm putting the bonnet back on it, and get someone to come give me a hand with these brakes. But we'll start getting this stuff back together now. So wheels are back on. Coolant's mostly bled. Just about to take it for a little bit of a go up and down here just to check out the brakes, and then it'll be all done for this. But yeah, so that'll be it for this for now, for the series. But yeah, I hope you liked it. The next part of the series should be doing the rust in it and all the lower ball joints and strut tops. But yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you in the next series. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it around, and we'll see you then.